Good evening and welcome once again to UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Chomdishe. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day. In UBC News Tonight, President Museveni commissions Chiadongo Crest Sugar Factory today. Still to come, fires destroy grass-thatched kiosks at National Theatre. In our stories, Ugandan leaders welcome a united EAC army. And last but not least, former Archbishop Stanley Ntagali advises clergy to plan for their retirement. Hello there once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Chomdishe. In UBC News Tonight, President Museveni has assured Ugandans that there's a lot of surplus electric power yet to be consumed in many strategic areas of investment, particularly industrialization. The president said the current surplus power, including solar power, can be enhanced and be used for pumping water, for irrigation, for agro production when the rains are non-sustainable.
The total investment in this facility is $60 million. The company currently employs 5,000 people, and this number is expected to grow to 8,000 in the coming years as production increases.
This factory is licensed to crush and process 5,000 tons of cane per day. I have been informed that the installed capacity of the factory is estimated at 4,000 tons cane per day, but it is operating at 1,500 tons of cane per day. The efficiency is expected to gradually improve with the time due on the ongoing training of local technical personnel and machinery adjustments to process cane in the factory.
Ati ira tukabagambira twabaye NRM okozesa amagezi gokuleta aba bantu abarukwesobora abaine sente kandi abarukuserura ahi bakukorera emirimo yabo eyokukora sente ahataine ntaro ahaine nkurakurana abamu tubakikwata kurungi tubakimanya batekereza ngo nohurira abamu bagamba tweberwe abahano nimbahurira abakubaza batyo bagamba ngo tweberwe abarukora imirimo yobusubuze hano tweberwoha taro otweberwe kandi umukureta abantu ntuyamu sente zokonyera abaitu ubwo musejja kwa kujya yakora hanyuma yasasura emisoro nisobora gukora sente zokonyera omunyoro owahano hati nkokumukorora ebyenkurakurana byona biri nk'ekijegere kijegere kigana nchikwatagana hata aba bantu baresire ikorore hano ligenda kukora tani za sukari emitwaro 8 n'ekicweka mu mwaka abamutunda nabone benda kumurika amashanyarazi mukakaba no mwirima. So they want transformers. So remind me to direct the Minister of Energy to help these people get transformers. Because we have got a lot of electricity, no consumers. Consumers are not so many. We have got surplus power. So these people are crying for power, then the surplus power, then remind me, we will get the transformers. I came to opened the factory. I finished my work. Thank you so much, everybody, and I congratulate the Rai Group. I congratulate Chiriandongo. I congratulate Uganda on this additional milestone. Thank you very much.
In more stories, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa, has hailed the North Kigezi community for spreading unity under the umbrella body Banyaruhinda Barukunjiri. Now Tayewa was officiating at a fundraising ceremony for the construction of Rabukowa, Church of Uganda, found in Ruhinda sub-county. The function took place at All Saints Cathedral, Kampala, and attracted the caretaker of North Kigezi Diocese, Patrick Tugume. Over 60 million shillings have been secured past the budget of 60 million, which was put on the table. The group from North Kigezi also vows to utilize the unity achieved to promote government programs like the parish development model, among others.
Kandi byone binza muri kunjire jiniyo groupe indeba so mwe bare kuba consistent amwe bare mnonga ni techo ni kitereza amani titkwetaga kuba binji. We don't need to be many kukora umurimo murungi. Yeah, we don't need to be many. Nkanyo wanje Ruhinda no stingira yo fundraising no mutamu yona nkakora fundraising gaje konga nkarunda neza abandi bakora mu fundraising zicumi so nyo wanje tingira fundraising namwe ntatimbe mwata horuru kwanyabo wanje nkabatera horuru otarinye ta fundraising ngo ine kanisa ine karizo exit muombeke muhanike inje shakaya so hati cyatuma abantu batandika bakora basogon nambwe nyo mwazo bansindikire ekareze n'amakanisa mushaje aginkutekwa kuza kushaka konga nkakitekaho nanye cyatuma bakora munonga nanye nkore munonga so chikoro byanshanga tinkugira konka kuwashoma nkejo listi. That's very, very important.
We started from Kampala by mobilizing people who live in Kampala, Entebbe and Jinja to form an association called Abanyaruhinda Barujumbura Development Association. One of the arms of that association is having a circle which also has incorporated about 55 people who live down in Rukuja. Well, that association has 335 members currently. The right honorable speaker comes from Ruhinda North, and I don't want this to be confused with Ruhinda sub-county, because Ruhinda sub-county is in Rukunjeri district. Ruhinda North constituency is in the Mitoma district. So they are totally different. But generally, he's a supportive person. He supports development, he supports community activities, and maybe our selection was timely, because we know that is what he wants. He wants people to get out of abject poverty, even before he became a speaker.
This church is already in its way promoting unity, because it is based on a number of issues that are gathering people together. One, people from different parts of the district, people coming even from different districts like Mutoma, people coming in from south part of North Kigezi, which is Kigezi. So Rwabukoba is a church that is bringing more formidable force and forging into unity, a united front for the diocese, for the district Rukunjiri.
The International Women's Day for Isango Sub-County in Kasese District has been marked with leaders inspecting income-generating activities implemented by women in the area. The function was held at Kamkombi Primary School playground. Details follow.
A team of leaders and eminent persons in Kasese district have inspected development projects by women in Kasese district. Former Defense Minister Dr. Crispas Chionga led the team, which also included the Minister of State for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Baluku Kabyanga.
A percentage 26 omo Uganda yose okwaba na chikumi abere na mukala wakushire ilikusa ikisina kisobora munachezi.
Muhindo added that she is investing the money she earns from vanilla every season into improving her nursery school, which she established alongside teaching.
It shall be up to P7 because it now begins from nursery to P1. So I have hope this vanilla will assist me to get money to invest in that school, such that I prepare for my retirement. As I retire, I have somewhere to retire from.
Ambassador Crispas Chionga implored parents to prioritize fighting malnutrition and advised women to get prepared to benefit from the parish development model.
Nama we are surprised there is an no Hajine parish, Atunga parish chief. That is the problem. That shouldn't be happening. Throughout Uganda, all parishes now should have parish chiefs. All the parishes have to give a parish chief, with a parish chief. Kudwa mashi with a parish chief, as you send the show, second asa is your brother of Mabanka.
The state minister in charge of national guidance, Godfrey Baluku Kabyanga, discouraged the people from undermining any form of business.
The confusion which is there now is caused by our own business people. They have not organized themselves into very strong associations, which can also negotiate terms. But you just need, they themselves have some bit of traitors. When some decide that the fish should be offloaded on the Ugandan market, and then probably the Congolese should come and buy them, then some again go behind their colleagues and take the fish to Congo. And you know, as soon as fish is not offloaded on the Ugandan side, then these women who retain will not manage.
Kasese District Woman Member of Parliament Florence Kabuo asked the mothers to get involved in business activities so that they employ themselves economically. Joshua Kagoro, UBC News.
President Museveni has called for continued proper nurturing of children to enable them ably handle adult lives. Now, this was contained in a message read for him by the Prime Minister, Rubna Nabanja, at a wedding ceremony of the Woman Member of Parliament for Agago District, Beatrice Akelo.
The Woman Member of Parliament for Agago District, Akelo Beatrice Akori, has been joined in holy matrimony to Madaraka Kenneth Orik during an event officiated by former Archbishop His Grace Henry Luke Orombi, assisted by Reverend Canon Erinayo Oriema Okwera. The high-end marital bliss was attended by the Chief Justice of Uganda Owenyi Dolo, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, and Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taibwa. She was joined by other members of Parliament who actively participated in ushering Akelo into this new life. It is an occasion that Prime Minister Robina Nabanja was part of. She was here to represent the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
This occasion marks the beginning of a lifelong partnership.
Neno matini yana ya cheki me meru kachiel
I thank the parents, Honorable Kwera Peter, and the family of Reverend Oshibo Dennis Wakori for the invitation you accorded me to witness the joy of seeing your children united in a holy matrimony.
The president underscored the need for young people to marry after thorough background checks are conducted.
My appeal to you is to anchor your relationship on love, commitment, understanding, and respect for each other. I always advise young people that when you complete your first crucial stages of education, it is important to get married.
The president thanked Akelo Beatrice Akori for her support to the NRM party, pledging continued development of the area.
I want to thank all the people of Agago district for the support you have continuously given the national resistance movement. Government is committed to continuing with development efforts with particular emphasis on increasing household incomes.
This was at Lira Paluo Senior Secondary School playground in Agago district.
Police Fire Brigade has this Sunday extinguished fire that was burning 2 grass-thatched kiosks outside the National Theatre. Though police reached the scene in time, the fast-spreading fire had already destroyed valuables in the kiosk, mainly clothes and drinks in the kiosk. Details follow.
Living in grass-thatched houses should never play with fire. This has come to light as 2 grass-thatched kiosks in the compound of the National Theatre were burnt by a midday fire as a welder meddled with his tools. However, as the saying goes, a stitch in time saves 9. Police Fire Brigade responded pretty fast and managed the fire before it spread to neighboring kiosks and cars within the National Theatre compound. Police Fire Brigade struggled with the smearing fire that was seething through the dry grass that acted as the roof of the container kiosks.
13, 16. I think it's like 2 hours. Never 2 hours. Okay, it has taken now 1 hour. So
Onlookers credited police for responding to their calls in time. The containers were locked by the time police battled the fire. The owners of the businesses of the burnt kiosks were not around by the time the fire broke out. This report was compiled by Fred Kasbanti for UBC News.
Well, the fire was put out even if property was lost, but we hope that they can always work around regaining their property. Moving on from that, a section of members of parliament have welcomed the recent signing of a peace accord in South Sudan aimed at uniting fighting groups into one army. Toro North County Member of Parliament Geoffrey Kanye says that this will not only create more stability but also stop markets for weapons. The move is coming at a period some refugees where they reportedly are returning home, according to the Minister for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Engineer Hilary Onek.
Out of 1.6 million refugees living in Uganda, over 800,000 are from South Sudan. It is a country that has been at war with itself, rendering it insecure and unstable. forcing some of its citizens to flee for safety. But this instability, however, could soon come to an end if the recently signed peace accord to unite all fighting armies is anything to go by.
If we have now agreed to unify our current forces, then let us work together to prevent anybody who is not with Dr. Riek Machar and not with us. We should prevent such people from spoiling what we have now made to be good.
Personally, I would be happy if this was done in a shorter time so that I can relinquish one of the titles that I have.
Such gesture has been welcomed by some Ugandan leaders, including those in the refugee management sector.
As you are aware, South Sudan is a country which has been mismanaged, I think, for very many years. And the infrastructure is not almost there, it is limited. And businesses are also quite limited, and industries are not there, etc. And they depend on importation, on imports from Uganda, Kenya, and even from outside Africa.
Recently admitted into the East African Community Regional Bloc, Ugandan MPs want South Sudan to come clean with its efforts towards peace.
The East African Community at the time is it's a little stable part of Africa. And so to receive them, and yet they're still worrying, would be bringing a bad egg into the system.
You just find each and everyone is having guns. Guns is like the walking sticks in the families, and there's no rule of law. It's very hard to govern the soldiers as we talk now. So I pray, coming up together, signing the agreement and forming a united army, I think that will solve very many problems in the African continent.
With guns falling silent and business returning to normalcy, there will be no war, and therefore no more market for weapons.
War is very bad. We just become a market for weapons and manufacturers of weapons instead of transforming and developing our region. So I want to congratulate the warring parties that have signed the agreement. They should remain peaceful. We will support them as East Africans and Africans to ensure that the peace agreement and the result is achieved.
In the meantime, efforts to make lives of refugees comfortable in Uganda continue, with the recent acquiring of funds to tarmac roads in refugee hosting communities.
At the moment that program is on, we are working closely with the UNRWA, together with Ministry of Works, to see that the resources available to us through the World Bank is used to tarmac these roads.
The World Bank funded project is aimed at easing movement and boosting business.
Overall, there are a total of over 900 kilometers of roads are supposed to be tarmacked under this program, connecting about many districts in our country. And for me, I thought this was really a good intervention and support to NRM government program to make our roads all-weather roads and to improve on our business and economic activities.
Uganda is currently home to about 1.6 million refugees. The current influx is from Democratic Republic of Congo, a country recently admitted into the East African Community. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The retired Archbishop of Uganda, His Grace Stanley Ntagali, has advised the clergy to always plan for their retirement. Ntagali was speaking at a Thanksgiving service for Reverend Diakon Edward Twesigye of Mpefu upon being ordained as a diakon. Now the function was held at his home in Mpefu Town Council in Buyaga West in Kagadi District.
The clergy have been urged to plan for their retirement and educate their children for their bright future. Retired Archbishop of Uganda, His Grace Stanley Ntagali, has thanked God for guiding Reverend Dinkon Edward Twesige to a level of a Dinkon.
I take him as my son. I mentored him, and he called friends to give thanks to God who has called him. The church prepares ministers and educates them, ordains them, and sends them in the field. So this Reverend Edward Twesige, has now become a deacon in the Church of Christ in the Diocese of Bunyoro, and he's going to be deployed to do pastoral ministry in a parish. So we thank God for his calling and for his response to the ministry.
He advised him to serve with commitment and honesty. Reverend Dinkon Edward Twesige was ordained by the Bishop of Bunyoro Chitara Diocese, the Right Reverend Samuel Kahuma, who thanked God for the miraculous gift of God's service.
P7 nagira bakani ndo P6 so kwenda kubagambira ngo kusoma kiri kikuru muno abana mu batwale hasomero kandi nyikiza nguna degree ndagijwala ruhanga ali mukonyezi wange mwebale munenga nsani abatutunulire inywe na UBC aba TV West mwebale abantu bona banyakwizira mukoro guno.
Reverend Dinkon Edward Twesige is from a humble family who strive to acquire education. At the function, the Dinkon received a contribution of over 18 million shillings and was advised to utilize the funds well. Present at the function was Dennis Namara Bindeba, a legislator at the East African Legislative Assembly, former LC5 chairperson Chibale, Amara Peter, politicians and the clergy.
The ambassador of Eritrea to Uganda, Suleiman Ahmed, has lauded the good relationship between Uganda and Eritrea. Ahmed made the remarks at the opening ceremony of Dibre Bistrat at St. Gabriel Eritrean Tawhedo Church in Zambia in Machinde Division. The ceremony was also graced by the clergy from the Orthodox Church headquarters Namungona, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan, among other nations.
Hundreds of Eritrean Orthodox believers in Uganda this Sunday gathered at Kasule village in Zambia in Machinde Division to witness the opening of Dibre Bistrat St. Gabriel Eritrean Tawhedo Church in Uganda. The temple is the first of its kind in the region. The ceremony was officiated by representatives from St. Nicholas Cathedral Namungona, the headquarters of Orthodox Church in Uganda, the clergy from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan, and elsewhere. The Archbishop Orthodox Church in Uganda, Metropolitan Jeronimus Muzeyi, was represented by Vicar General Orthodox Church Constantine Mbonabinji. In his speech, Metropolitan Jeronimus Muzeyi hailed the late Archbishop John Aranga for laying a foundation for Eritrean Orthodox community in Uganda.
The Eritreans came to Uganda and they went to Metropolitan John Aranga, that we have no place where to lay our head. But John Aranga said, you are brothers and sisters. Come and be praying from a classroom. But later on he reflected on what is written in the gospel and says, when you have one shirt, give to your brother. Then he saw that he had a plot in Nirubia, and he said, brothers and sisters, go and build a church in Nirubia.
The Eritrean ambassador to Uganda, Suleiman Ahmed, hailed President Museveni for allowing Eritreans to relocate to Uganda, a reason they can put up permanent structures.
This is the most appropriate place, and everyone is very happy with two governments with similar ideas. And we cooperate in many areas in the international forum. It's actually a big place, and the two governments appreciate each other.
The Deputy RCC Machindi, Doreen Keita, NRM Chairman Muyenga Bukasa Ward, Yasin Omar, and the village chairperson Stephen Semanda were among those that attended the event.
The time where we promote
we build oneness. We must be one.
Museveni asinga kwogera patriotism. Abantu bonna bajje mu Uganda ne Uganda bagendewa bweru. Ate ye esiga likulu mwenare manifesto. Before these people could come to put here this multi-billion project of the church, the place used to be a hideout for criminals.
Sudat Kai, Ivan Joko, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Surat Kai. Now, the Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Nava Koba, has directed police to identify those who wanted to forcefully take over Busawala playground. Last Sunday, the minister, who has been in the area following the Deputy Speaker's directive over the matter, has also halted any activities on the contested land.
Many have lost their lives, for example.
This was a matter tabled to Parliament late last week.
Stormed Busawala playground with tractors. But I want the ministers to go on ground. And then you report back to this house Wednesday next week.
To ascertain the situation, Lands Minister Judith Nabakoba, as directed by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, has been in Busawala.
Mama tutase ngawe nkumanyi okuva mu police nkufolowinga mama Nabakoba.
During the minister's visit, one Salongo Chibandwa, who claims ownership of the land, was the first to testify.
Mbasese erettaka lino lyali lya mukulu wange Yokana Namuyimba Senkungu. Olwokubanga nze mbeera Ssese ate nga najjidde nkiiko za kika ekyapa kyange kyasigadde Kalangala.
However, this was disputed by the tenants.
Naye tewaliwo muntu alina kyapa okujjako ekya fake ku kisaawe kino.
Chibandwa, however, also refuted the allegations that he intends to evict the squatters.
Nze sigobangawo omuntu n'omu yenna.
The occupants of this land, however, want government to bail them out.
Requesting the government that in case we get someone or the rightful owner of this place, let the government help us to pay him or her so that we can save a big number of people that are squatting on this land.
The meeting was also informed about the ownership claims by one Elizabeth Wavamuno. To others, this land initially belonged to the Buganda Kingdom.
Fengo Bwakabaka bwa Buganda tuli basanyufu nnyo. Era tukulinamu essuubi okulaba nti embeera eno ojja gitereeza. Tusinziira ku bukugu bw'olina n'ebiwandiiko bye tusoma nti oli mukugu nnyo naddala mu kutereeza ensonga z'ettaka.
The meeting was attended by, among others, Area Member of Parliament, Wakiso District RDC and her deputies.
Omuntu agenda akola effujjo lyonna ng'ali DPC ng'akimanyi bagenda kunkyusa bukyusi. Biitaaga abantu bano nabo bakwatibwe batwale mu mbuga z'amateeka.
Today we have had a meeting with the people, and I bless God that has been successful, and we are going to dig deeper so that we find out the true owner of this land.
The Lands Minister Judith Nabakoba wrapped up the meeting.
This place has been there for a long time, but because it was at a short notice, we couldn't really dig deeper to understand matters of ownership. You've seen that there is a certain gentleman from Kalangala who said he has a mile title. Then we realized that there is somebody who has a lease which is expiring in 8 years. Then we know, all we are told, this land belongs to Buganda Land Board. So we cannot really tell off cuff. Unless we go back into the system good enough, Minister of Lands is the custodian of all titles. We shall know and understand. After getting to the bottom line, then we shall engage the person responsible or the owner, the real owner.
The minister, however, left behind some standing orders.
I've told the DPC to look for the person who was trying to clear this ground at night, because we know most of the activities are supposed to be done during day when everyone is seeing. The leaders must know what is taking place, but we are told somebody came at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the night. And then when I asked around, who is that? Did you try to look at the number plate of the vehicle? It's like they don't have the information. So that's why I directed the DPC to investigate, but also retrieve the CCTV footage. They look at the footage, and probably we shall get to know the vehicles that came on ground, and the vehicles will lead us to the person who was behind the activity that was taking place.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Minister of State for Works and Transport Musa Etweru has shown dissatisfaction with the progress of works on Lida Kamdini Road. In January, leaders and locals staged a demonstration for the appalling state of this road, which attracted the intervention of the President, and in April the reconstruction of Lida Kamdini Road was launched by State Minister for Works and Transport Musa Etweru. On return for a monitoring visit, Etweru was shocked to realize that the reconstruction has not yet begun.
We're only coming again to express the pain we have. This is an international route. It connects the seaport of Mombasa to South Sudan. It connects the seaport of Mombasa to DR Congo, apart from serving the districts of Uganda here.
In the recent past, Lira Kamdini Road has been a center of controversy in the region. The appalling state of the 78-kilometer stretch from Lira to Kamdini triggered a demonstration in January this year. President Yoweri Museveni then intervened by withdrawing the project away from World Bank, saying their strict conditions were causing delays. Weeks later, a position was agreed and the project was returned to World Bank for funding. On April 21st, State Minister for Works and Transport launched the construction of the 340 kilometers beginning from Kamdini Noyam district to Tororo. The 116 billion civil works was handed to Mata Ingil Africa, an international company from Portugal, to be completed in 36 months. However, on return for monitoring, the minister was asked by the delays.
Those ones covering the potholes, when will they be on the ground?
They are in the ground.
But I've been on potholes,
yes. One team come closing the potholes.
When are they
coming? When
is the team coming? The one covering potholes?
They have a team already, yes.
But I've not seen the potholes are bad.
The pace is, I think they need to improve.
Can I come in 4 weeks' time, that's a month from now, and find a change here?
Of course.
Leaders who are highly under pressure from the residents say the appalling state of the road has suffocated development in the area. But Minister Etweru, who confirmed government commitment to rehabilitate this road, pledged to return again after 4 weeks to ensure the President's pledge is delivered.
I want you to be sleeping here to make sure then I will see the Chinese. That's why they are defeating you people from Europe. Because the Chinese, when you give them job, they are very serious. Now for you, you want to eat chips, you want to fail.
Come in 4 weeks and you will see.
No, I take the job.
You will see the evolution of the work.
Okay.
What has started is the routine maintenance, which has begun to ensure the road is motorable, which we appreciate. But what we are saying is that we want to see the full reconstruction works to also proceed.
As if they use mud to fill the potholes. As they move, you find this one now coming out, going back to the original status.
If this road was worked on, it will take just 1 hour. For a patient, that means saving a life. For a business person, it means money. For a studying child, it means a degree, it means a A-level certificate, and so many other things.
Etweru also checks the construction of the 191-kilometer road from Rekunye-Apache Lirapuran Road, where delays were also witnessed. Here, only 3% of works have been completed against the anticipated 30%. This was majorly attributed to delays in design and compensation. Only 60 kilometers have been compensated and handed over to the contractor. Eddie Oloa, UBC News.
Ugandans have been urged to always chase after hope through prayers. A pastor at Healing Streams of Life Church, Chanja Mugabe Perez, says people should pray to God unconditionally for the betterment of their lives.
Churches and restore the spirit of prayer, because I understand where a church is not praying, the truth is revival will never come. And again, we will have called churches, we have called pastors, we have a called nation, and demons and all wickedness is going to take over our nation. We only keep on crying, but we do not have any transformation, any change in our nation.
Hope is something that you've got to chase after, because God will give you hope, but you need first that power of Christ in your life. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. God never gives up on you. Don't give up on yourself. If you haven't asked Jesus into your heart, Ask him now. If you haven't yet committed your way to him, give your life up.
I want everyone in this country to understand that there is hope, but the only hope you'll ever have is in Jesus. And I also want you to understand that I love you very much. And that's why I've come here. I've come here to spread this message because we don't have another hope.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more business stories.
Have waka, you passed the eyes through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Look at you waka, see my waka that I got with Momo.
Show them waka with MTN Momo Nyabo. Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
What the book packages, great entertainment, sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Everybody, Go TV. This is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Ugandan shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Be alert. Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Mirinda.
Grab yourself an ice-cold bottle of Mirinda Orange at any shop or supermarket near you. Mirinda Orange, the taste that makes you go OMG.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back to UBC News Tonight. In our business stories, cassava farmers have appreciated President Museveni for marketing the cassava crop amongst Ugandans and beyond. Now, this has been disclosed at the Cassava Expo organized by farmers at the Uganda Museum in Kampala. The operations manager, Eru Cassava Mbaguteli says production of cassava is important for food security and expressed the need of introducing new varieties to the farmers. Watch.
Creation of a separate fund to support cassava farmers is among the recommendations demands by farmers to increase productivity at the Cassava Expo organized by National Agriculture Research Organization and cassava farmers. President Museveni was thanked for marketing their product.
The raising the price of cassava flour, it's because of the president's advert. The advert he made for us, the cassava farmers, when he mentioned if bread is expensive, we should resort into eating cassava. So the kilo has been at about 2,000. It's now 3,500.
The director, Airo Cassava Growers and Processors, Airo Eseza, says there is now an increase of cassava demand in the country. The operations manager, Airo Cassava Mbaguta Liberio, says many farmers are doing cassava production on a small scale, yet it can create economic value.
A kilogram of cassava now is about 3,000 shillings. So if you put 140 plants on an acre of land, the question is, if you take very good care of it, then you're able to do what? To get high value, and it's a highly commercially viable enterprise that we encourage farmers to get into.
Farmers say there is a need for value addition on cassava.
There are high value items or products that actually come out of cassava. Cassava is a potential import substitute item for the wheat that we are talking about. Right now the country, we are saying that because Russia and the other country are fighting, we are unable to get wheat into the country. But if we supported farmers to do production and then establish factories or industries at their level or cottages at that level, they are able to add value onto these crops. It would ably substitute the wheat production that we are talking about.
Cassava was recently given a lease of life when President Yoweri Museveni proposed to Ugandans to embrace homegrown products like cassava instead of bread that is expensive.
Cassava is actually what we in the sector, we call it white gold, because it can change the life of any person who eats cassava, who grows cassava, and who consumes cassava. It is much more healthy because of the benefits that are in consuming cassava.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
There you had it from the president. If you don't have bread, you can as well eat cassava. Moving on from that, bottled water business is becoming tighter by the day as the number of companies joining the business become many. One such company is Generation Bottling Company Limited in Kampala, which attributes its interest to the good investment environment. Enjoy.
In 1990s, Uganda had about 1 or 2 companies dealing in bottling drinking water production. However, now there are over 20 verified and certified companies that have invested in bottling drinking water. The latest is Namamve-based Generation Bottling Company Limited in Kampala.
iSchool, the partners are a group of new Ugandans who have lived in Uganda for more than 15 years, have a lot of love for the Uganda. So we can come up with the idea that we want to create a new brand of drinking water. The one that was affordable, one that was high quality.
There has not only been an increase in the number of companies investing in bottling drinking water, but even the technology also become modern and automated.
One other thing that makes us a little bit, not a little bit, but highly of good advantage is our machine. Our machine is so advanced so that in 1 hour alone we can produce about 24,000 bottles of packaged water. That means in a day we can produce over about 300,000 of cartons. Okay? Now imagine that in a week. In a week, our warehouse that is keeping the water that we have produced can be completely full.
At Generation Bottling Company Limited, they pride in modern and automated equipment that can meet the demands of the market.
Our water production process involves several processes. Number one is we store all the water that has been extracted from the boreholes underground. Later on, we take the water through several tanks for filtration purposes. That one is to make sure that the water that we give our customers, it is clean without any bacteria or any chemicals. Concurrently, when the water is being filtered through the different tanks, all the preforms, the small bottles, are also going through the process of blowing.
The proprietors have commended the government for the favorable investment environment that has seen many Chinese come to Uganda for investment.
I have lived in Uganda for 12 years, and of course, Uganda has a good business environment and a good security. That's why I can invest here. I love everything in Uganda.
However, since the companies knew their biggest challenge is now the marketing and promotion of their product among the public. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's news. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a part of UBC News Tonight from 10 p.m. to now 9 minutes coming to 11 p.m. My name is Sharon Chomjisha. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. You can stay tuned for more programming coming your way as you start your new week. I hope you do something that adds value to whatever you're doing and something that makes you a better person. We love you. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or